starting again, just in case you noticed. So my sister has been and gone. Her and her husband and her daughter arrived yesterday afternoon, a couple of hours after they had planned. Well, a couple of hours after they'd said, or she'd said what time they would be arriving. Doesn't surprise me. So it was really lovely. We went out for a really nice meal in one of the local towns, and we met Joe. So there were 6 of us. Really lovely food. Beautiful evening. The weather had warmed up again because we'd had cooler weather. The weather had warmed up. They cut short their visit to this end because they have not had a nice time in France. They've not enjoyed it, which is very sad. There's parts of it they like, but not enough to make them stay. And it was touch and go whether they even got here because John just wanted to go home. So they came, and we had the meal, went out for a meal last night, and then they came back this morning and or just before lunch, and I cooked lunch, and which was really nice. I enjoyed cooking it, and I think they enjoyed it. It was duck breast with some sort of sautéed potatoes in, some spices, and green beans with garlic and butter, and a blueberry sauce. And they enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Unusual for me. I don't normally enjoy it when you've cooked something, you don't always enjoy it, but I did enjoy it. It wasn't a lot, so that felt comfortable. And yeah, by 2 o'clock they'd gone, so they weren't even here for 24 hours, which I was really sad about. We're sort of packing a lot in, and lots of stuff you want to talk about, lots of things you want to talk about, and it's like there's not enough time. And I was really pleased they came. I'm really pleased they've not been here. We've been here 17 years and they've not been here. So I'm really pleased they came. I'm really pleased they see where we are, see the around where we live. But they won't be coming back to France. Which she said, don't take it personally. So I won't. So they've gone off and they've stopped near Dieppe for the evening, and then they're going to carry on and they rented a car this side of the channel because their car wasn't big enough for all of their belongings. So they've been driving around in a rental car, which they're going to take back in the morning. And then they're going to go home, and they're like half an hour from the tunnel, so the other side of the tunnel, so it won't take them long. I can understand them if I can't wait to get home because that's how they've been feeling. Their stay in near Bergerac was luxurious, and they were fed really good food for all of the time they were there. So they had a lot of luxurious surroundings. And when they stayed up here, we joked about it earlier on in the week, and Viv said, "Oh, I suppose we can slum it for a couple of nights." But actually, they weren't happy with the hotel that they'd chosen. And we don't stay locally. We don't know what the hotels are like, so they weren't happy with it. It wasn't a good night for them. So where they've booked themselves into tonight looks luxurious again. So I think they'll be fine. So we're back into our. We started at 1 and we stopped at 6, so we had a 5-hour window today. Yesterday we had a normal day, so we had a 5-hour window today, and we will not have anything now till 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. I'm going to do something with noodles and chicken. I've got the sourdough because the weather's warmed up. So the kitchen, I was cooking, so the kitchen warmed up. The sourdough starter was really active. At the point a couple of hours ago where I was sort of considering beginning to make my first loaf, and then I realised that there's quite a bit of labour intensive stuff to begin with. You need to be working it every half an hour over a couple of hours, stretching and folding. And I thought, after today and after the last 24 hours, I'm too tired for that. So I'm going to do that tomorrow. So I'm going to make my first sourdough loaf tomorrow, which is just as well because we're just at the end of the last homemade loaf I made the other day, and we've been eating that as our last. It's not a meal, is it? Our last thing at 6 o'clock. Marmite. I've got Marmite. I'm really pleased about that. 2 big jars of Marmite. Plus, I've got backup Marmite arriving with our friends who are coming in 2 weeks. So I've got Marmite enough now for 2 years, and it lasts forever. So, well, I think so. Um, so that's good. Pleased about that. Yes, I did used, deducted, whatever. Does it matter? Everybody knew what I meant. I didn't notice anybody correcting my grammar anyway. Well, I think people corrected me correctly, but whatever, you knew what I meant. Um, I, I think my mum used to lose words. I think as we get older, we lose words. It was quite funny. We were the two daughters were comparing Viv and I to our mother, cracking jokes about us, and which was interesting. It's quite funny. We had it. I mean, we did. We had an enjoyable time exchanging stories. Um, Sadly, I'm in better health at the moment than Viv, and I felt sorry to see her in pain. And she's got fibromyalgia, so she can't. There isn't. Whereas I've got steroids that I can get on top of stuff with, steroids don't do anything for fibromyalgia. So she was in quite a bit of pain, and she knows why, because it's the bread. If you're eating, because of what they've been eating this last couple of weeks, it's not good for her. So when they get back, they're going to become strict about what they're eating. I have been completely confused about the days. It's weird. It's still today. Today is Friday, but when I got up this morning and in that sort of just got up state, what I do is I come down, I take my tablets, I go out, put the coffee machine on. I got up this morning, came down, took my tablets, went out, put the coffee machine on, went into the fridge, got my injection out, sat down, gave myself an injection, and as soon as I was injecting it, I thought, oh shit, it's not Sunday. It's Friday. It just felt like a Sunday. And I think because the initial visit before they moved it was they were going to be here on a Sunday, and I think that's why it's been confusing. So I've injected myself 2 days too soon, which I'm sure will be fine, but it might not be quite as fine when I get to next Sunday, because I'll be 2 days late. I'll have missed 2 days, but whatever. It was too late. Well, it's just like, well, it's tough now. What can I do about it? I can't uninject me. So that was a bit of a pain. Yeah, so it's really nice to know that's done. It went well, and I can relax this weekend and not have to think about feeding anybody but us, and not bringing a meal on time, which is what I do. I heard them comment it was going to be 2 o'clock, but we moved it because they wanted to leave, to head up country, and I said I'll do it for 1 o'clock, and we were calling them in to sit down at 1 o'clock, and Viv went, oh my God, look, it's 1 o'clock, dead on. She said if it's 1 o'clock dinner in our house, it's 2 o'clock. She's never been punctual. The astonishing thing is, as we sat round the table, I think we realised that I haven't ever cooked for her. I can't remember a time when I've cooked for her or for them. It was odd, and I think it's just that we have led such different lives, been doing different things, and I don't know, but I don't think I've ever cooked for her. So that was interesting. I'm really pleased to have cooked for her. It was nice, but yeah, I don't think I've ever cooked for her. So yeah, that's that. And next time, I mean, I shall see her because I talked to her on video, but the next time I see them will be hopefully next year. Hopefully, I think Lauren was very interested in being here. As she'd initially was going to be our house sitter, and then things changed for her. She went up for a wander around, and she came down. She said, if I was a grown up, this would be my house. So it might be that she'll be our house sitter next year if we go away. I hope so. Yeah, but yeah, I need to think about whether I'm prepared to go away yet. Still traumatized by our last going away, and Jazz getting lost, and well, just being away and the travelling. Not really got over that, I don't think. My son's on his way back from Canada tonight. They got bumped off their plane, their flight yesterday, and got put in a hotel. I don't know how I would have coped with that. if they'd cancelled our flight. That would have been the last straw for me coming back. Absolutely the last straw. Yeah, so anyway, so there we are, all done. And thank you for your comments, and thank you for caring. And if you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe. And I'm so tempted to say something, but I'm not going to say it. So tempted now. I'm not going to. I mustn't say it. Okay, thanks for watching. See you.